Hey guys, we're Team 5215, the Seagulls from Frankfort, Michigan, and you're watching RoboZone.
RoboZone is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Toyota, let's go places. Fanuc America, innovative automation solutions. Hino Trucks, the fastest growing premier medium duty nameplate in the United States. And Operating Engineers 324, we keep Michigan running. Welcome to another episode of the show that's popularity is sweeping across the state of Michigan and beyond. This is RoboZone, presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. All right, week 2 of the robotics competition season was intense, exciting, and historic in some cases, so stay tuned. Operating Engineers Local 324 are powering this state in more ways than one. You'll get to know a little bit about what they're all about. You'll meet the founder of FIRST and the current National FRC Director, too. Told you, there was a lot of buzz about RoboZone. Okay, let's get to the highlights. Well, last week we predicted that the scores would go up and the stacks would get taller in the Week 2 events, and boy, were we right. The action on the Recycle Rush field definitely went up a notch in this second round of events. Let's start it off with the Kettering District Competition. 41 teams came out for this Week 2 event at Kettering University in Flint, Michigan. Kettering is one of Michigan's original district expansion events and has hosted a tournament for each of the past 7 years. As predicted, the big scorers of the weekend at Kettering were 23-37, the Engine Nerds from Grand Blanc, and Team 314, the Megatron Oracles, aka Big Mo from Flint. When the dust settled after 82 qualifying rounds, Team 314, the Oracles, found themselves in the coveted number 1 seeded position with a 76-point qualifying average, the Engine Nerds following in a close second. On Saturday morning, Kettering had a surprise visit by none other than Dean Kamen himself, the founder of FIRST Robotics, along with Frank Merrick, the president of FRC, to check out the action at the Kettering District. Michigan pioneered the district competition format back in 2009, and it has since been rolled out to 4 other regions of the country. Dean and Frank hope to have all of the nearly 3,000 teams in the FRC follow Michigan's lead in the years to come. As predicted, Kettering was a case of history repeating itself. In the Alliance section, Big Mo and the Nerds paired up once again, just as they did last year in 2014. Choosing rookie team 5784 from Vassar, the Vulcans were chosen as their third Alliance partner. 24 of our 41 teams moved on to the playoffs on Saturday afternoon. In the quarterfinals, drama right out of the gate. The number 3 Alliance and the number 4 Alliance both knocked out in the quarters, and the lower-ranked number 5 and number 8 Alliance moved on to the semis. The number 1 Alliance, as expected, took a commanding lead with the 101-point average in the quarterfinals, keeping them in the top spot as they entered the next round. In the semifinals, we saw the number 2 Alliance made up of the rookie team 5513, Electric Horsepower, Team 70, More Martians, and 5201, the Broncos from North Branch, turning up their game when it mattered most. Together, they set a 93-point semifinal average in 3 rounds, securing their spot in the finals to square off against the number 1 Alliance for the Kettering District title. So, on to the finals. In match 1, the number 1 Alliance pulled out all the stops, building 2 stacks of 5 and a stack of 6, setting an event high score of 152 points for Red and ending the match with more than double the Blue Alliance score of 73. In finals number 2, the Blue Alliance rallied back to set a much better score of 113, and the number 1 Alliance almost lost this one when the Nerds dropped the recycling container on their 3rd stack. But the Red Alliance pulled it off, winning by just 5 points with 118 points and the district title. This is the second year in a row that teams 314 and 2337 have won the Kettering district together. I expect to see more great things by both of these teams at their second district outing.
Last year we won Kettering as well. We've been on the rise with our success as a team, getting better and better every year. So hopes are really high. We put in a lot of time, the most time we've ever put into a robot. So we're really hoping for high numbers coming out of Kettering.
Internships are the first step to starting a career in robotics. Last week we met Vincent Nicolazzo, a student in the robotics program at Lawrence Tech. Vincent has an internship at Siemens, a worldwide engineering company. Vincent creates 3D robotic simulations and classifies data at Siemens while finishing his degree at LTU.
I've learned how to use state-of-the-art software that applies to real-world applications, along with project management skills to develop those applications.
Finding an internship in Michigan is often no problem for many robotics students. After all, Michigan is rated to be the largest robotics area in the U.S., next to California and Massachusetts.
Siemens is dedicated to helping develop that next generation of engineers into the workforce. And the Siemens internship is just an example of our level of commitment.
The robotics is everywhere. It's in places that you don't even think about, that you would think about robotics. For example, your smartphone, I'm pretty sure you have one. All the technology in there, that's really robotics technology. Your car, with the vehicle collision avoidance systems, all, the adaptive cruise control, all that is really robotics technology.
For students like Vincent, it all started with a desire to help others using robots, and now he has them in a job doing just that.
I wanted to be able to build robotics for the defense industry. So if I can replace a soldier, that'll mean a lot to me because that's one life saved and maybe even multiple. They have robots that disarm bombs, and we won't have to have a soldier doing that. We can have a robot, and if a robot gets destroyed, who cares? It's just money, it's not a life.
Dave Wilkins is a manager of technical solutions at Siemens, as well as Vincent's internship supervisor, and says he himself went to Lawrence Tech and credits the robotics curriculum to his success today at Siemens.
When I was at LTU back a few years ago, I was in the mechanical engineering program and decided that I wanted to get more into the manufacturing engineering curriculum. So I took some of the manufacturing courses there, including one of the courses was in robotics. Got some good hands-on experience, and that was enough to intrigue me and excite me about that. This is the direction I wanted to go to.
Overall today, the world of robotics is stepping into the driver's seat in all aspects around us. Technology is evolving faster than ever and giving the consumer more.
And in terms of manufacturing, I would say we're even better than those two regions. So, when we started the program, I did my research to see how many robotics companies we have here, and I stopped at 250. And the three largest robotic arm manufacturers are headquarters right here, 20 minutes away from Southfield.
To learn more about robotics and all of the amazing programs offered at Lawrence Technological University, please visit ltu.edu and schedule a tour today. History was made at the Waterford district. Don't go anywhere. You're watching your home for Michigan High School Robotics, RoboZone.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
You may not know us, but you know the things we do.
We build landmarks,
buildings,
highways,
bridges,
and pipelines.
We build rewarding careers.
We operate.
We maintain.
For over 100 years, we've kept Michigan running.
And we'll keep it running.
We're Operating Engineers 324.
And we're proud of being part of something special.
Join us.
For over 30 years, we've been the leading supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation to American manufacturing. We help companies reach production goals locally and globally with bringing manufacturing back to North America. Our innovative technologies provide world-class quality and efficiency. We train, educate, and develop highly skilled workers, harnessing the power of man and machine together. We are the future of manufacturing. We are FANUC America.
During the second week of district competition, the founder of FIRST, Dean Kamen, and the director, Frank Merrick, stopped by Kettering University and had some great things to say about Michigan FIRST Robotics.
We're very excited about the growth of FIRST all over the country and all over the world, but Michigan, all by itself, is an extraordinary model. This year, there were more rookie teams. More than 80 new schools have come from the state of Michigan, and that's more new schools in our robotics competition than we got from the rest of the country combined. So Michigan is a powerhouse.
I'll tell you, Michigan has been setting the standard in terms of team growth and just overall experience for the teams. They started the district system several years ago. It's been a tremendous success, not just here, but in other areas of the country. And we really look to them as a model to see how other states can take their FIRST program down to the next level.
Stepping into this year's competition, a few of the rules have changed. The first being that the robots no longer have to have a footprint limit, meaning robots can be as big as a team would like. Another change is a playoff system.
Very excited about the new playoff match format. Because we had a game in which there was not a lot of robot-to-robot defense, really no physical defense at all, we could go to a point system, which meant that during the playoff matches themselves, we're looking at average points and seeing how alliances perform over time rather than on one-on-one against another alliance. And so what we think that's going to do for us is we're going to see the truly better alliances advance. But with the new playoff system, every team that's in the playoffs, every alliance that's in the playoffs, has to pay attention to how the other alliances are doing. It just doesn't matter how you do with your opponent, it's really how all the other alliances as well that determine whether you're going to advance or not.
With RoboZone, I'm Kiera Lancaster.
Thanks, Kiera. So far, the toughest event of the 2015 season occurred at the Waterford district. We had a record 57-point qualifying average. That's impressive. We said last week that Waterford was stacked, and it certainly was. Here's Lauren.
Thank you, Stephanie. The Waterford district at Mott High School was the real deal. The average ranking score was higher than the top ranking score from the Standish district just 1 week earlier.
3, 4, 5.
We had great vibes right off the bat. At the end of 78 qualifying rounds, we found the hot team from Milford solidly in the lead with the record 97-point qualifying average, falling just 3 points shy of our prediction that someone would break the 100-point mark in Michigan in week 2. In second place was Team Impies, number 1025. The Impies were one of the few teams playing for their second time already in week 2. Their week 1 winning experience from Standish paid off, and they improved considerably with an 88-point average. In third, Oxford's Team Torque with a 78 average, followed by Team 217, the Thunder Chickens, in fourth with a 74. In the Alliance section, the number 1 ranked hot team chose 2137 Torque as their first draft, along with Team 3707 Team Bug from Brighton. The number 2 alliance was led by Team Impies from Ferndale, along with 217 the Thunder Chickens from Utica, and a sophomore squad, number 5046, the Jacked Up Jackets from Memphis, Michigan. In the Waterford quarters, the number 1 alliance launched a full-scale stack attack, scoring 4 cap stacks in both rounds. In doing so, that set a Michigan record, 167 points in the fourth quarterfinal. They followed it up with a 161 in quarterfinal 8, an average of 164 points. Crazy! After a showing like that, it appeared that the victory was in the bag for the number 1 alliance, but not so fast. Recycle Rush is a game of precision, and anything can happen if you don't keep your cool. In semifinal 4, there was trouble in paradise. The Hot team missed their 20-point autonomous, then Torque and Hot both dropped their recycling containers, leaving the top-ranked alliance with only 48 points for the round. Meanwhile, the number 7 alliance had found their game, led by team number 1, the Juggernauts from Pontiac, along with 470 Alpha Omega Robotics from Ypsilanti, and team 2619, the Charge from Midland. This underdog alliance put up scores of 101, 93, and 105 points for a semifinal average 99.7. The number 1 alliance needed a big score up over 120 to move to the finals. The audience watched on the edge of their seats as semifinal 6, the number 1 versus number 2 alliances commenced. Both sides gave it their all. 3 cap stacks rising on both sides of the field. At the end, a score of 129 to 133 guaranteed a spot in the finale for both the number 1 and number 2 alliances. Going into the finals, the MP's Thunder Chickens Alliance was ranked first, and MP's was looking for their second event win of the season. But the number 1 alliance was not to be outdone. Just like they did in the quarters, they took the first finale handily, 143 to 96 your score. They did it again in the second finals with a 139-125 victory. The Waterford crowd went wild. The Hot team earned their 34th FRC Blue Banner in team history. That's awesome. Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
You may not know us, but you know the things we do.
We build landmarks,
Buildings.
highways.
Bridges and pipelines.
We build rewarding careers.
We operate.
We maintain.
For over 100 years, we've kept Michigan running.
And we'll keep it running.
We're Operating Engineers 324.
And we're proud of being part of something special.
Join us.
Now it's time for our third and final event from last weekend. Just outside of Grand Rapids at East Kentwood High School was our first West Side competition. A full roster of 40 teams showed up for the brand new event to play Recycle Rush for the very first time. Lauren Plant has all the action.
We wrap up last week's competitions with what went down at East Kentwood. There are a lot of FRC rising stars on the west side of Michigan, and this really showed in the event results at Kentwood. An average qualifying score of 46 points and a total of 10 scores up over 100 points on Friday and Saturday morning. Our high score of the entire weekend was set in match number 46 with Zealand's Team 85 Built on Brains, Grand Rapids Team 2075 Enigma, and the Big Yellow Strike Force machine putting up a whopping 154 points. Moving into the Alliance selection, the number 1 seeded Average Joes chose the 5th seeded Team 2054, the Tech Vikes from Hopkins, as their first draft, and rounded out their alliance with Team 4482 ID Robotics from Kalamazoo. The Tech Vikes have what is probably the best autonomous mode in the entire state right now, and they are able to stack all 3 of the yellow totes and move all 3 recycling containers on their own, scoring 28 points in just 15 seconds. Second seeded 4967, that one team from Belmont, chose Team 85 and Team 244 RoboDogs 3D as their partners. With 8 strong alliances assembled, it was off to the quarterfinals. In the quarters, upset alert! The 6th-ranked alliance of 4381, the Richland Twisted Devils, 2959, Coloma's Robotarians, and 5710, the Charlotte Obots stole 3rd place, swiftly knocking out the number 3 Strike Force Alliance out of the contest. In the semifinals, just 4 groups remained, and our underdog, number 6 Alliance, showed their worth again, finishing numero uno after 3 rounds of play with an impressive 117-point match average, 14 points ahead of the number 1 Alliance. The number 6 and number 1 advanced to the Kentwood District Finals. In Finals Match 1, the number 1 Blue Alliance took the lead first, putting up a big 128 score over the 96 set by Red. Then, in Finals Match 2, the Blue Alliance encountered some difficulty, missing the autonomous bonus entirely and only successfully completing 1 capped stack of 4 totes, leaving them with only 56 points compared to the Red Alliance score of 109. The series was 1-1, and the Kentwood Finals would go to a rubber match in round 3. In Finals 3, both sides assembled 3 capped tote stacks plus a host of additional individual totes, and in the end, the number 1 Alliance came out on top with a 135-116 decision. This was the 8th all-time FC event win for the Tech Vikes, the 3rd win for 3620, and the first ever win for the 3rd-year team, ID Robotics. Congratulations.
Our robot was surprisingly behind schedule. We really did not get a lot done, or nearly as much as we wanted to, so this is amazing. I can't believe we really did this.
I'm Jim Zonag, back in the seat at Control Command. What did we learn about week 2 of the robotics season? Event scoring averages went up a lot in the 2nd week, with scores over 150 points posted at all 3 events. A full 2/3 of the 346 Michigan FRC teams have played already this season, and 10 teams have already competed playing their 2 official district events. With the Week 2 competition action now in the books, here are the top teams coming in that we are keeping our eye on. At Woodhaven, Team 27, Team Rush from Clarkston, a 2014 Michigan State champion. Team 469, the Los Gorillas from Bloomfield Hills, our 2014 FRC World Champions. Team 1023, the Bedford Express, winner at Southfield in Week 1, coming out again for their 2nd time. And Team 3539, the Biting Bulldogs from Romeo. At Gull Lake, we have Team 2834, the Bionic Blackhawks from Bloomfield Hills. Team 3641, the Flying Toasters from South Lyon. Team 3656, the Dexter Dreadbots, semifinalists from Waterford. And Team 4381, the Twisted Devils from Richland, finalists at the Kentwood event. Finally, at our first Up North event of the year in Traverse City, we have Team 51, the Wings of Fire from Pontiac, Team 245, the Atom Bots from Rochester Hills, Team 1711, the Raptors from Traverse City, and Team 2474, Team Excel from Niles, Michigan. Now it's time for the latest RoboZone rankings. For my picks on the RoboZone show, I use a combination of OPR, elimination match averages, and individual scoring component results to make my picks. We watch all the matches, particularly the playoffs, and assess each team against how many points they score in each match. In number 5, we have Team 2137, Team Torque from Oxford, winner at Waterford. In the number 4 position, Team 33, the Killer Bees from Auburn Hills, winner at the Southfield District. In the number 3 position, we have Team 1025, Team Impies from Ferndale, winner at Standish and finalist at Waterford. In the number 2 position, we have Team 314, the Megatron Oracles from Flint, winner at the Kettering District. And in our number 1 position of Week 2, we have Team 67, the Hot Team from Milford, winner at Waterford, with a peak OPR in the state of 59 points. Good luck, teams, in the next week of district competition.
Thanks, Jim, and thank you for watching. Follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, check us out on YouTube. RoboZone Show is the handle you need to know. The competition season is really only now heating up. Teams looking to qualify for the FRC State Championship. It's only a month away, people. April 11th at the Deltaplex in Grand Rapids. You know we'll be there. RoboZone airs every Sunday at noon on CW50 Detroit and on WOTV ABC4 in West Michigan. For Stephanie, Kiera, Jim, I'm Lauren Plant. We'll see you next week right here on your home for Michigan High School Robotics, RoboZone. RoboZone is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Toyota, let's go places. Fanuc America, innovative automation solutions. Hino Trucks, the fastest growing premier medium duty nameplate in the United States. And Operating Engineers 324, we keep Michigan running.